Bubba. I love ya. This is Orange Julius. And he's ready to go. The cat is spoiled. Oh, I love ya. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's turn this off. Hi, everyone. Oh, let me put this up here. How are we doing? What a weird day. I was just going to come on here and play some Five Nights at Freddy's. But people just continue to be so weird. Being so weird about the Hasan thing and now about bringing up Shredder again. Like, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Maybe because I'm kind of new to this whole world and I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get why this happened, but we're going to talk about it. So tonight we have two separate streams. The next one will just, this will redirect to the next one. We're going to play Five Nights at Freddy's, because that's part of our, I guess I'll show y'all. That's part of our fun times all October long. So we have, let's see, that's week one. Where's week two? Oh, week two isn't here. Hang on one sec. Let me find it. Because we had such a fun time last night. So I want to make sure I show y'all. Here it is. Okay. Please excuse me. I did spell Freddy's wrong. So last night we all watched Night of the Living Dead right here on YouTube because it's in the public domain. So I have found a whole bunch of public domain horror movies and we're watching one on Monday nights. One next Monday, it might be Nosferatu, or I might come up with something that like actually has dialogue, because I do think that was really, really fun. And there's some very funny moments that I'm going to be clipping from last night's watch party, because shout out fair use, shout out public domain. If you were here last night, I hope you had a fun time. I definitely did. It was great. And the ending of Night of the Living Dead, didn't see it coming. Genuinely didn't see it coming. And it made sense, but it was still really sad, you know? No one wants to watch spooky movies with you. Hello, right here. We're watching them. We're doing it. I'm so glad y'all had fun. So definitely come back next week. Tomorrow night, we are going to be talking about the weird stuff that's been found in bodies, like in autopsies. And I'm also going to do a cool makeup tutorial, kind of like last time, but hopefully this one goes a little bit better. Although it was fine. Yeah, Kristen, you can watch it anytime. The video VOD on demand is up now. And then Friday, we will have the regular H3 after party stream, and then it'll redirect to the Frankenstein Friday stream, where I will be reading aloud another couple chapters from the best horror book ever, in my opinion, Frankenstein. I'm going to pick a couple real juicy chapters to help you, drift off to sleep with plenty of nightmares. Oh, man. I'd love some advice. I finally opened my H3 fact-checking accounts. But curious if you think video format or live stream deep dives. Well, I prefer live stream because I hate editing. Not a fan. Not a fan of editing. Oh, we got a...
Speaking of musty ass.
Feach the Yowl gave $4.99. Finally caught a live stream while sewing my Nessa Rose doll her replica's dress. Love your stuff.
Thank you so much, the Giddy Owl. Nessa Rose doll. I love that. I would love to see that stuff. As for what you want to, like the format you want to do, I don't know. Like, I'm still a pretty small creator, so I don't know if I'm the best person to ask for advice. But I prefer doing it live because I don't have to edit it before it goes up. And then I can clip it. Like, I can do clips of it, and to me, that's, like, much more manageable than, like, planning a whole script, doing all the shots. Like, that is not fun for me. I've learned. So I operate better with like doing a long stream and then cutting it up if I feel like it. I don't plan to read Dracula because we only have a couple weeks left, but maybe next time. Maybe we need a book every month, you know? Just like a read aloud, because people do seem to like that. Editing is the best part, girl. I'm glad you love it. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen Lonerbox. He does like research streams where he's just like looking things up. So maybe you could do both if you have the time, like do research on stream. Because I do think it's interesting to see how people do their research, right? To see the steps they take, to see how they sort of verify things. Maybe that's something for later. I don't know. But if you like editing, then edit, I would say. Ow! Mother bitch! Stop doing that! My cat is just like kneading biscuits on my ankle. Sir. Please. The editing part is solely why it has taken so long. I did spend a lot of time drawing my profile pic and stuff, but besides that, the editing is holding me back. Yeah, I mean, it's time consuming, but also if you're doing like fact checking, it kind of makes sense to take time, you know? He does need the zap for sure. I feel like the zap would just make him stronger. He would just like absorb it. Like Adam and Buffy. Again, Buffy reference. Oy vey. Okay. So this is what's happening the rest of this week. As I said, after this stream, we will be playing Five Nights at Freddy's, and hopefully I will be getting the doo-doo scared out of me to really get the vibes going. Now, for tonight, before we get to the fun, we have a couple things to talk about. First of all, the narrative has been compromised. People in Hasan's sphere are completely off message, it seems, and are getting caught saying kind of whatever they want. I think the worst version of it, or the most damning version, was definitely Cutie Cinderella talking on, whose stream was this? I had it in my brain a second ago. Someone in the comments will know. So here is what Cutie Cinderella had to say about the shock collar, vibration collar, ID tag collar. This is what she said very definitively.
I have never seen the dog get shocked. That's my take.
Cool take, and I'm sure it's true. Doesn't mean there isn't a shock collar involved, but again, it's hard to know what the truth is these days.
I've never seen the dog.
What about the clip though?
The clip is insane.
Okay.
Like, the clip looks awful.
The clip is insane. The clip looks awful. Oh, FaZe. Yes. It was FaZe Clan. Also, this kitchen looks amazing. This has got to be like a real chef over here. This looks like a real chef doing his job over here. Okay. The clip looks insane. You're right, Cutie. It did.
He has a vibrating collar, and it looks like, I've seen it, because guys, I'm a psychopath. I love dogs, okay? You've seen me bathe my dog. No, it's just so annoying because people have made it so much better. You're probably right. You clip this with a pedophile. Anyway.
What?
So, what I had to say, I'm in his house, I looked at the collar. The collar is taped off where I think there would be prongs.
The collar is taped off where I think there would be prongs, which is what everyone has been saying. But it seems like she's saying he removed the prongs and put the tape on before all of this? Like, why didn't you just buy a vibration collar then if you were going to remove the shock element? That doesn't make sense to me. This is very interesting.
Yeah. There's no zap. There's only a vibrate function.
Yeah. So I would agree to that.
There's no zap. There's only a vibrate function, but you said that the prongs got removed so that there was a shock function.
Zap. There's only a anyway. So
Oh, my
what
cat
I'm
really
saying,
got me
I went to
good.
his house, I looked at the collar. The collar is taped off where I think there would be prongs.
I went to the house, I looked at the collar. I don't know if this happened before or after either. Like, did she go over to investigate before she said something publicly?
Yeah.
There's no zap. There's only a vibrate function.
Yeah.
So
Are they making a baguette?
If I didn't have like my own collar and I put it over like my hoodie and shocked myself on level 10 and it almost took off my neck. I'm not
No, there's no shock. Like the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But when did that happen? When were the electric prongs taken out of it? And why would he take the electric prongs out of it? Cat, I love you. I want you to love me. But you can't do that because I don't put shock collars on my animals. You little bing bong. It's so funny. We were just saying like 20 minutes ago how much you've calmed down since you got snipped. And now his pupils are like this. You little monster. Orange cats. Ow, Jesus.
Right?
Like it's only a vibrate. Like there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for
True,
shock.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So
There's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock. Not something Hasan said. Hasan didn't say there was a shock function. He didn't say that there was tape on it, that he had removed anything like prongs from it. I can't believe the Phase House is like doing some serious journalism here and getting to the bottom of it. Wow.
there's only since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
So what's your...
The progs aren't in it, so it'll only vibrate. So she is saying, whether she knows or not, she is asserting that this is a modified shock collar that had prongs at one time and the prongs were removed. And that it has the ability to shock, but it won't because the prongs aren't there anymore. And that where the prongs were is covered in tape. None of this is anything that Hasan said in any of his multiple defense attempts that he's done since this happened, right? He's never said that it was a shock collar. He's never admitted that there was tape or that it's modified in any way, that anything was removed. So this seems to confirm the suspicions of a lot of people. And I feel like Cutie thinks that she's defending Hasan here. But I don't think she knows, maybe she doesn't know what he has been saying as a defense all this time. Because this kind of runs in the opposite direction of what he's been saying. Let's see if she has anything else here.
What you're saying is you're defending
that
him.
whimper couldn't have been due to a vibrate. I don't think there's any way.
Well,
Here's my thing. I'm getting chatter saying they're clipping this.
Yep.
Yes, they are. They sure are clipping it. So, I mean, wow. Again, none of us can know, right? Like, we kind of have to either believe what's being said, either by Hasan, by Cutie, by other people that we're going to see, by Anissa, the dog trainer. We either believe them or we have our own suspicions. But I will remind everyone that nothing is official. Cutie Place! I saw on the subreddit earlier, the company that makes the collar actually sells their own cover for if the prongs are removed, no black tape required. This is all just so weird. This is all so weird. Apparently, someone said, Dapper Alligator, love that name. Dapper Alligator said, watching Snark turn on each other is going to be amazing. I mean, apparently it's already happening. I saw something where people were like arguing in the comments, but I saw someone had posted about it on the H3 subreddit, but I like to avoid the Snark communities if I can. So I did not pull that, but we can see that there is an impact. And like I've said before, seems to be the first thing that has really put a dent in Hasan's following. Like for the last, this is 30 days, but based on the trends, all right, so this is Hasan's Twitch social blade. Okay. September 16th was in the green by 3,000 followers. So this doesn't mean he got 3,000. This means of the followers lost and gained, he is net 3,229. So he probably got a lot more than that. And as you can see, his following is in the green every single day. This goes back 30 days. Based on this trend, it probably was the same for 60 days, maybe 90 days. I mean, he has just been racking up subs without any days in the red until October 8th, which is the day after, as we know, Dogtober 7th, until the day after the clip started circulating. First of all, he had his lowest green day on October 7th, and then he started losing a lot of people for him, right? Like, because he has been just in the green every single day. I mean, look at this. October 5th, 2 days before it happened, he's in the green by almost 11,000 followers on Twitch. Like, nothing could touch him. There have been other controversies in the last month. Nothing really has touched him. He's had a couple low days.
And she's also gay.
Oh.
Butterfly Panda just gave $19.99. Just saying hi. First time I've gotten to watch live in a long time.
Thanks, Butterfly Panda. I really appreciate it. But look, like you can see, this is the first thing in who knows how long that has dented his Twitch following. To have these deficits every day, right? This means that he probably got a good amount of new followers, but he lost a lot more in order to be in the red. So it's saying that his weekly average loss is almost 5,600 followers. In the red by 5,600 a week is a lot for him. After losing, not being in the red at all for at least a month. And like I said, based on the trend of this, he was probably stacking without any deficit days for 60 days, 90 days. I could find out, but I don't feel like paying for Social Blade. So if anyone has a paid Social Blade account, you can probably see just how far back this trend goes and how stunning this run of red days is when it comes to Hasan. So without even looking at Snark, it's clear that there is some kind of a delineation happening, right? However small it might seem. I would expect the tape to have large amount of fur on it. There is nothing on it, as if it's freshly done. I wonder from the beginning. I did see like a little piece of hair on it. I did see like a little bit, but I couldn't tell if it was on the tape or if it was on the thing. I don't know. I do think it's very interesting. We can look at Ryan Beard's Social Blade. We're going to talk about him. Let me add it to the list. Ryan Beard. That'll be fun. And let's do... I just love data. It's so fun. It doesn't lie, right? Data doesn't lie. Ball don't lie. And these people, I mean, there is some sort of a schism happening, even though it looks small, and it is, right? It's a small amount of people, but this is, 5,600-ish people who saw that video, thought it was fucked up, and left the community, left the Twitch community. And I don't think this is nothing, right? Like Hasan's community is so entrenched, right? Like they are so dedicated to him. Think of all the things that these people have hand waved, right? think of all these things like the terrorist videos and waving the gun on screen and, you know, doxing the wrong person and, you know, all of these, you know, threatening violence against, you know, sitting members of Congress. Potentially, a lot of these people were like, that's fine because I believe in Hasan and I believe in what he believes in. But the dog thing was apparently too far for them. And I'm not going to fault them for that. But it is very, very interesting. And I wonder if these people are also now understanding what a lot of us have been experiencing, which is the crazy making, right? The feeling insane. What for disagreeing with these people. I wonder how many of these people tried to speak up in the subreddit or in chat and they were banned or blocked or called a Zionist or called, you know, like an Israeli shill or whatever, you know? So we can at least say he is putting a bad taste in the mouth of a lot of his followers for the first time in a long time. So it's not nothing. It's not nothing. And it's weird that this is what it took, but, you know, we're here. We're here and it's happening. And like I've said, I mean, this might not be, there might be a lot of other people who saw it and were, you know, fucked up by it, but they're still trying to like hold out hope, right? Because not everybody leaves a cult at the same time. So this is like a drop in the bucket, right? And maybe the next controversy, they'll see how he responds in the same way with, you know, deflecting and blaming other people and refusing to take any sort of accountability and like changing his story. And they'll see that and they'll say, wait, this happened last time. And I still don't feel good about that. So maybe there's a pattern here, right? Like humans are great at pattern recognition. So I'm hoping... I don't know what I'm hoping. I mean, I guess I hope that people find themselves in communities that are supportive and positive and good for them instead of in communities that encourage like hate watching things for 10 to 12 hours a week. That's what I hope for these people. The phase clip is longer and it goes on with them trying the collar with prongs removed and it still shocks. So regardless of if the prongs are on or off, it still shocks. That's what I was wondering because it's still like, the threads of screws, which are metal, which conducts electricity. So to me, it didn't seem like removing the plastic prongs or whatever would do much of anything. Even if you like sawed down or sanded down the screws, it's still metal. So I don't know. Hi, Almost Indian. We're about to get into Ryan now. Hi, Captain Quasar. I think beyond whether or not the song Ryan made was in poor taste, it was absolutely poor taste to add it to a video about David and Celeste. Exactly. So let's talk about it because that is an excellent point and an excellent segue. We do have other people who double down. Oh, wait, we got to watch Taylor Lorenz talk about this shit. Because this is what I mean when I say, like, can I blow this up? Let me move this down here. When I say the messaging, people are off message. Like, the messaging for this Hasan dog collar thing has been compromised. We have Cutie Cinderella saying that it's a shock collar that's been disabled or modified in some way so it only vibrates. According to people in chat, they try a modified shock collar and it still shocks. And then we have Taylor Lorenz trying to answer for it on TikTok Live, which to me, it just feels like a really, really bad idea. For someone who's so concerned with like the message and making sure she gets the messaging out there, in my opinion, this was just really strange. So let's see what she has to say about the shock collar. I just would not have entertained these questions. It's amazing what she feels like confident enough to talk about.
Import, like, see what I'm talking about with this stuff? You are delusional. What is that?
First of all, did she just get back from the Ren Faire? Serious question. It is Ren Faire. It is Ren Faire season. This top and the jewelry just feels very Renaissance fair. Very, very medieval times. I don't know if it's a new look she's going for or if she literally was just like watching some jousting and eating a turkey leg.
What is that TikTok sound? It's like, you all are under spells. You're under spells.
As she looks more glazed than ever.
Do I think his reaction was wrong? Do I think he...
Oh, go ahead. Try to get out of this one.
He should have gotten up and checked on Kaya? I believe that he did. If you keep...
Oh my God. The lying is crazy. The lying is crazy. I believe that he did.
Watching, if you don't watch the edited clip, after like a minute or something, he does go and check on Kaya.
It wasn't a minute, right? It was like an hour later. Wasn't it much later? An hour later. Yeah, it was an hour later. So it's like she doesn't, this is what drives me nuts about Taylor Lorenz. She doesn't watch the material before she confidently talks about it. Like, you're supposed to be the online historian, but you're not even watching the material first before you talk about it. That's how I know you're not taking it seriously and that you're just here to sweep for Hasan. Because you're not actually watching the content. You're just perpetuating the lies that you've seen. Who knows where? I know where, but maybe it's multiple places.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've lived with dogs like most of my life, and sometimes they yelp for random reasons. My old dog would like do that shit all the time. He would run into himself in the mirror and stuff. Like,
is that what happened in this video, Taylor? That's not a random reason. That is because your dog ran into something, right? That something caused the yelp. They're not just yelping out of nowhere. God, she's like a Trump press secretary.
dogs, like, yeah, you should check on them. If they yelp, you be like, you know, what's going on? Did you step on something? Sometimes they step on a bee or something, but like, you know, who knows? Dogs also just like, they scare themselves sometimes. And
dogs just, you know, scare themselves sometimes.
Yelp. It doesn't mean that the dog, like, that's not any sort of consistent behavior from this dog. Yeah.
How would you know that?
I'm wearing a shock collar. The whole thing is just so ridiculous.
Is it?
No, I don't love animal abuse, you guys. I'm literally vegan.
Well, that kind of makes this worse, girl. Because you know, if, oh my God, like this is the kind of thing, is if it was Ethan, if that was Ethan sitting there and there was any of the 4 dogs behind him and he looked like he shocked his dog, Taylor's vegan ass would have written like 5 stink pieces about it already. Right? Just imagine if it was Ethan. I don't love animal abuse. I'm literally vegan. But that's also how I know that she watched that. She either watched it and felt bad, because I think it's impossible to hear Kaya make that sound and not be upset, or she still hasn't watched it and is just going off the party line. Because I don't know how a vegan can watch that and feel good about it or feel even neutral about it. As a vegan, I feel like you should be against all prong collars, all shock collars, vibration collars. Like, vegans are usually pretty hardcore. And again, imagine if that was Ethan's dog. And I got on here and said, yeah, dogs just like scare themselves sometimes. Girl, please.
And I've been vegan almost my entire life. Yeah, he did. Anyway, I'm just like, I can't even litigate this. I want you guys to.
She loves saying that when she doesn't have an argument. She loves saying, I'm not going to litigate this when she's caught in a corner. How do I know? Because she said it to me. And I've seen her say it to other people. I'm not going to litigate Israel-Palestine. Well, but you're using Israel-Palestine to excuse a lot of bad behavior, but now you don't want to talk about it? Okay.
Zoom back, okay? Zoom out.
Zoom out and give Hasan credit and benefit of the doubt and goodwill, all of the things that he deserves and nobody else deserves, right?
Look at the people who are pushing this. Look at the websites that are pushing these crazy conspiracies. National Review, Right with Laura Loomer, the far right. Like,
okay, but it came out of his community. And his community is leaving him because of this. So now you're saying that his community is just falling for a right-wing lie when they watched it in real time with their own eyeballs. Or are they just all Republicans too? Are they just all Zionists who just want to take Hasan out because he's the most important asset the Palestinians have? Like, give me a fucking break.
Palmer Luckey, a far-right Silicon Valley tech extremist in the defense industry, a pro.
Do you know who else works in the defense industry? Hasan's brother.
Israel. Like, it's a lot of pro-Israel. It's also a bunch of Israeli news websites. Like, it's on Israeli news. Like, please use your brain and kind of like zoom out on this and say, like, are these good faith attacks or are these not?
Please use your brain.
You know?
I wish you would, Taylor.
And I just want to reiterate again, in that video where she yelped, she's not even wearing any sort of vibration collar. She's wearing a regular canvas collar.
Not true. Not true based on what Hasan has said and now what Cutie Cinderella has said. Like, you are not telling the truth. What I can't tell is if you're doing it on purpose or not. But just to be so desperate to run defense for Hasan when you don't have all the facts, like you don't even have like the correct spin on it, is embarrassing. Like I can't imagine Hasan was happy with that. I cannot imagine Hasan was happy with her take on that. So yeah, between Cutie Cinderella and Lady Taylor of the New York Renaissance Fair, things are kind of off the rails. Things are off the rails, and like I said, we're seeing it reflected here. Like to say that this is all just Israeli propaganda and it's just the right wing and that you are exaggerating or falling for it. When these are his followers, these are people who subscribe to him, who actively go out of their way to follow Hasan and watch his content. Are these all Republicans too? Are these all Israelis? Is this all everybody who works at the National Review? Or are these like well-meaning good people who saw something they didn't agree with? Like, this is where it came out of. These people were outraged. It would be one thing if he was still in the green, right? Then I think you could tell that it was more of an astroturfed thing. But look at this shit. This is the first time, like I've said, potentially in months, at least in the last 30 days, that he has been in the red at all. And it's for a week straight. Like, you're telling us to use our brains when our eyes that are attached to our brains saw what we saw and have watched for the last week as all of you twist yourselves in knots and say completely different things. Like, if we want to talk about critical thinking, the critical thinking in me says, y'all do not have your story straight. And that makes me wonder if anybody's telling the truth. Because since the beginning of this, I've been like, I don't know. None of us were in the room. None of us are Kaya. None of us are Hasan. We can't know for sure what happened there, but we know what it looks like. A lot of us have shown it to people who are completely disconnected from this, from the internet, from this whole thing, right? They don't know who Hasan is. They don't know who Ethan is. We just say, what do you think happened in this video? And every single person has said, that dog got shocked. So we have that speculation. We ask what's going on, and what we get in response is a very Trumpian, like, flood the zone of like 9 different scenarios. And Hasan, the one person who knows the truth, his story kind of shifts day over day, right? First he says, oh, she clipped her toe on her dew claw on something, which he couldn't have seen, but was the reigning theory in the subreddit, right? In the leftovers or the Hasan subreddit. And then it became, it's not a shock collar, it's an ID tracker collar. And then it's a vibration collar. And then it took him a full 24 hours or more to actually show the collar. And when he did, it looked modified. And then we have Cutie saying, yeah, it's modified. It was a shock collar, but it can't shock anymore. And now we have Taylor saying, it's just a canvas collar. So who isn't using their brain? We're going to need to move Five Nights at Freddy's a little bit later. Give me 1 second, y'all. Because we are definitely not starting in 20 minutes. I'll move it out to 11. So yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand it. I understand what's happening. It's people are scrambling. They're scrambling to spin this story to get it to go away. But the problem is this isn't astroturfed. Hasan's actual fans are jumping ship and trying to criticize him and hold him accountable. And according to them, they are being banned and blocked from chat. And it makes you look worse if you defend all the bad behavior that someone does. It makes you look worse than just admitting that something was fucked up, or at least looked fucked up, which Hasan did for a second. For a second there, he was like, I think it was in whatever fluff piece came out about him when he was like, I can see why people thought that it was a shock. It totally makes sense why they thought that. But then he gets on his stream and he's like, fucking Israel. Just panic. It's just panic in like 8 different directions. You should see his wiki page. It's a war zone in the talk section. Ugh. I saw some of Vanilla Mace's fans were also speaking up about it on her TikTok, so even the Orbiters are likely losing fans. Yeah, well, I mean, she was, I think she defend him and got a lot of flack for it, I believe. I don't really pay much attention to her, but... All right, let's talk about Ryan Beard, because for some unknown reason, he is inserting himself into this in the weirdest, most callous, cynical way. And I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it at all. So let's talk about it. So Ryan Beard, who I only really learned about recently, like in the last year, because he made a pretty detailed video about Destiny and how fucked up he is. I'm sure more of you, I'm sure some of you in chat know more about him. So you can leave some details if you'd like, as I get into what's happening right now. So a couple of days ago, out of nowhere, Ryan Beard decides to release this video. Now, on its face, if you're just looking at the video itself, it's about David, who is the musician who allegedly essayed an underage girl for an extended period of time, potentially kept her hostage to some degree because she's a minor and she can't really consent to this kind of stuff, and then murdered her, allegedly chopped her up and allegedly put her into the trunk of his own car and then went on tour. So it's like, okay, cool. Ryan's making a video about this, right? And I've talked about David. I did a whole deep dive on what was going on. I managed to do it without accusing Ethan Klein of murdering his beloved first dog, but I guess nobody's perfect because here we are. I don't understand why he had to put this in here. I will say, for context, since we're only going to watch the first little bit, one of David's red flags, as we see here, which I talked about in my video too, is that he wrote songs about killing girls that he loved. Specifically one where he says, "I killed you in my dream. I didn't even care." Something to that effect, right? And then the music video for that is him being loaded into the trunk of a car. So that's like, wow, that's really fucked up, right? Could have built a whole video just on that. But instead, Ryan had to go and do whatever the fuck this is. Let me put the captions on so we can all get mad about this again together.
On September 16, I killed my dog.
I want you to remember that Ryan said this isn't about Ethan. This was his initial defense was this is just a random parody song of one of David's songs, and he happened to use a dog and it wasn't about Ethan. But then we have the picture of a Yorkie, and it gets even more specific. No, Shredder's death was announced September 1st, 2023. And I know this, thank you to Alex, the fiction, for finding the date for me. I have something to show y'all at the end of this that is related, okay? If you go to the end, they use the tattoo top hat image. Oh, wonderful. Okay, here we go.
In a dream.
In a dream, which is what
Only in a dream.
So still using the Yorkie. Hey. Okay, so I guess at the end it's the whole thing, and it's even worse. So let's just watch the whole thing.
On September 16, I killed my dog in a dream, only in a dream. I fed him too much cheese.
Yes, I'll turn the volume down on the video. Thank you. I fed him too much cheese. Which is the reigning snark lie about Ethan killing his dog. That Ethan killed Shredder with cheese. Meanwhile, literally everyone feeds their dog cheese. Every vet I have ever been to with our little dogs, has said if they're not going to take their pills, put them in cheese. Yeah, we just passed the 2nd anniversary of Shredder's death in early September or end of August. I don't know why he's doing this, but I have theories.
He shit out his brain.
Vets have Cheez Whiz in their rooms. Yep. My vet right now is, he has specifically talked about Cheez Whiz. And when my Chihuahua just got some of her teeth pulled, because she's an older dog now and little tiny teeth are a nightmare. They said to put her fucking meds into Cheez Whiz because she couldn't chew for a while. He shit out. This is disgusting. I fed him too much cheese and he shit out his brains. Like, this shit is making my blood run cold.
Cheese, he shit out his brains, and then he passed away, but only in my dream.
We don't, hot take Andy, we don't hate Ryan. We're just really confused and upset about making fun of someone losing their pet, and not just making fun of them losing it, but like blaming them for their death. No, I hate Ryan. I don't know him enough to hate him, but this is really gross.
And then coincidentally, my real dog died on that very same day, but that had nothing to do with me. I only killed him in my dream. So many dreams about killing canines, but I don't do that stuff in real life. In real life, I love puppies. I only kill...
Again, Shredder.
them in my dreams.
Let's go, big nipples.
K-Boo gave $2. Who is this guy? I've literally never heard of him.
This is Ryan Beard. He's like a commentary guy. And for some reason, he decided to make a video. This, a reminder again, he is making a video here about a very serious and gruesome murder of an underage girl. And for some reason, he decided to use this vehicle to legitimize the craven, unfeeling lie that Ethan killed his dog. This is so twisted. And again, he was saying this wasn't about Ethan, it's just a random example. So again, these people that cape for Hasan are fucking pansies. And they can't even stand 10 toes down on the bullshit they're doing. They still have to do like the middle school mean girl shit of like, you're overreacting. That's not what I meant. I wasn't even talking about you. Like, bitch, shut up. You're full of shit.
In my dreams.
What a little fucking loser.
Only in my dreams.
I don't want to listen to any more of this. He fucking sucks. Apparently he uses the Shredder top hat. Did he cut it?
Girl with a mic, when is she calling in?
Punani Tsunami just gave $5. My soul cat died due to vet negligence this June. I am an absolute shell of myself. I feel Ethan's pain so deeply. This is beyond cruel.
Let's go, big nipples.
Jared Lawrence gave $2. Justice for Celeste. Y'all know how I feel about it.
Yeah, same. Justice for Celeste. Amen. Someone should look in the trunk of
Girl
his
with
car
a
to
mic,
see-
when
Oh,
is she
there it
calling in?
Albanero Sriracha just gave $5. Someone should look in the trunk of his car, just saying.
I just had a thought, but I'm not going to say that thought out loud. So that's what we're dealing with, gang. This came out of nowhere. Ryan Beard has not said anything to Ethan or about Ethan, as far as I know, in a long time. It doesn't make sense to me why Shredder or Ethan even needed to be included in this at all. He got a lot of heat and has continued.
Saturday night.
Moonchild_ gave $4.99. There shouldn't have been a song in this video, period. What a loser.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a song at all. I agree with that, Moonchild. Absolutely. Top comments. Let's see. No, I don't see a pinned comment from him on this. So he's getting a lot of shit in the comments about it. Well, let's just show a couple of them, or I'll just read them because I don't want you to see people's names. I cannot believe you used the story of a little girl getting murdered as an opportunity to try and dunk on Ethan Klein. Freak. Agree. Imagine preaching how much you hate Snark, and then you make a song promoting one of their bullshit talking points. You're an asshole. Yeah, that's a point we're going to get to, is that he was at odds with Snark. And that is why he contacted Ethan and why I even know who this person is. LMAO, a spineless craven performing for people who hate more than they think, artless and desperate. This whole entire video is ignorant and poorly done. Been watching your videos since the Sienna May vid, and I've got to say this video definitely ain't it. Very untasteful and gross how you choose to cover the death of a 14-year-old, not to mention calling a pet owner irresponsible for giving a dog cheese, which is perfectly fine in moderation, is even included in many doggy and cat treats, and even given to dogs at vet clinics to help them take their medication. You should be more responsible with your words and your platform. Unsubbing now. Buddy, if you take 2 seconds to look it up on Google, you'd know it's impossible to give your dog kidney disease with cheddar cheese. Thank you very fucking much. Hey, guy, yikes. There's so much to say, but this is a very long one. I don't really want to... We know all of that. We know that this is fucking stupid. That song is a pretty gross addition. Not cool, dude. Why is there even a parody song in this? The dog thing is sad and shouldn't be made fun of. On top of that, this is a topic involving a real murder. Exactly. This isn't something you can make a silly, funny, goofy song about. Just because this involves someone famous doesn't mean it's harmless internet drama. This is literal murder. Yeah. If you want to watch something that takes it a lot more seriously and doesn't use it to shit on people that aren't involved, you can watch my video about it. Wow, thought you were a decent person, but you are just an evil loser. What does Shredder have to do with this, Ryan? I know my opinion doesn't matter to you, but I used to love your content. I have now lost all respect for you. On a smaller but still horrible level, it's cruel to Ethan. He did nothing to deserve it. He didn't kill Shredder. But the most disgusting thing about this is your silly little song put in a video about the abduction, sexual exploitation, and murder of a child. That's ridiculous, and you should be ashamed. Gotta say, I agree with all of those people. So yeah, he is getting some I think well-deserved heat in the comments. And yeah, it looks like, this doesn't like have a ton of information, but it looks like he lost 1,000 subscribers today. And we don't have numbers yet for the next day. It doesn't look like he's, he doesn't have the same metrics available as Hasan. So yeah, he lost a chunk of subscribers today, and probably will lose more.
Girl with a mic, when is she calling in?
VO just gave $9.99. Ryan, I can't believe society doesn't take violence against women and girls seriously. Also Ryan, makes satirical music video comparing the unalive of a little girl to internet dog drama. Fuckful face emoji.
Exactly. It's garbage. So yeah, I got a lot of blowback in the comments, and then he decided to double down and triple down. So here is the first comment that he decided to pin. He says, "Hey guys, I've gotten a few comments saying they found the parody song a bit tasteless. I know that explaining comedy can ruin the joke. No, not being funny ruins the fucking joke, Ryan. But the purpose of the song is to show how if David released a song about killing dogs, everyone would understandably find it incredibly uncomfortable and weird. But when he released songs about killing women, people thought it was totally normal." Again, he's not saying here that it's about Ethan, right? He's saying he just made up a total random scenario where someone kills their dog with cheese, which has literally never fucking happened. I'm trying to point out the hypocrisy of how people in society get more offended about violence against animals than they do about violence against women. No, you're not. This is just more of like the bullshit moral grandstanding to cover for bad behavior. No, that's not what I'm doing. Yes, it is. I'm trying to point out hypocrisy. No, you're trying to shit on Ethan in the wake of Hasan getting a lot of shit about potentially abusing his dog. Very interesting choice. Very interesting choice to put that in this video at this time. Of course, we should also care about violence against dogs. We should care about violence against anyone. Oh yeah, anyone, everywhere. And any creator who mistreats their dog should be held accountable for their actions, no matter who they are. Meanwhile, Ryan has been sitting on a video about Hasan for a while, as we'll see, and still hasn't released it. But he's here to criticize everybody who deserves it. He doesn't care about catering to various fan bases or massaging the egos of people who get mad when you call out mistreatment. Really? Then why did you put this in this video? Because who was this for? Team Bald in chat, let's go. Thank you, Rococo Suckster. If you do something I consider harmful, I'm going to call you out on it no matter who you are, which is not true because, again, where's your Hasan video? And I would expect people to do the same with me. Well, that is happening to you. That is happening to you now. You are being called out because that wasn't enough. He kept getting heat about it, specifically about the fact that he is obfuscating and trying to act like this wasn't about Ethan and about Shredder. And so here we go. Here is his latest. Yes. First of all, people acting like they have any fucking idea about how Shredder died when they are not anybody in Ethan and Hila's family. They are not Shredder's fucking vet. These are random people who have literally never talked to Ethan ever. Yes, Shredder died of kidney disease, and Ethan said himself on his podcast that the high sodium content in cheese can lead to kidney disease if you feed too much of it to small dogs, and he wishes he would have done that research ahead of time. That's not what fucking happened. And we have Ethan's stories to clarify this. It's fine to feed dogs cheese in proper amounts. Again, you are not a fucking vet. You don't decide what proper amounts are. But feeding small dogs too much cheese can be dangerous for them, which Ethan himself admitted on the podcast. Ethan himself didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was out of his mind with grief. Like, oh my God. And has since corrected this so many times. The same with the stupid Giardia bullshit. He said things and then very soon after corrected it. But all of these people are just continuing to perpetuate the first bit that he fucking corrected. It's completely in bad faith. These are the people that talk so much about, oh, the context is taken out of context. You are leaving out the context of these people, of Ethan correcting himself. And admitting that he said things that he didn't know, he didn't fully know what he was talking about because he's not a fucking doctor. But instead of adjusting how you feel about it, you're just hooking into something that you know is inaccurate because you want to perpetuate a lie to get in the good graces of Hasan. That is what it feels like to me. It's fine to feed dogs cheese in proper amounts. Shut the fuck up, Ryan. Who are you? Are you a vet? No, you just hate Ethan. For some unknown reason. You all know that if Hasan did the exact same thing with his dog, Ethan would never stop talking about it. Okay. I don't think that that's true. Ethan actually understands how much people care for their animals. I genuinely don't think that if Hasan's dog died, he would blame Hasan for it because he has experienced what it's like to have a fucking dog die that you love. Stop talking about other people like you know what they're thinking and feeling and how they would act. And then using that hypothetical to excuse your bad behavior. You all need to take the L and back down because it is obviously bad that Ethan didn't do the proper research in crafting his dog's diet. Ryan, you are all acting like massive hypocrites. We're acting like hypocrites. Where's your video about Hasan, Mr. I criticize everyone equally? I think you're all egotistical. No one is saying Hasan is the most evil dog owner of all time. What we're saying is that's really weird that the story keeps changing about the collar while ignoring Ethan's behavior. We are ignoring Ethan's behavior because his behavior was fucking normal.
K-Boo gave $2. He built a memorial shrine to Shredder W. a plaque.
While ignoring Ethan's behavior. We're ignoring Ethan's behavior because his behavior was normal. There's nothing to criticize. They spent a year or more going to doctors, changing vets, getting second, third, fourth opinions about what was going wrong with Shredder. And you fucking know that because you are a Fallen fan. You were watching 2 years ago when Shredder got sick. So that's what makes this so much worse, is because you fucking know how much Ethan Neal loved that dog. I can understand if Denims wants to do this, if Denims wants to have Bad Empanada on and push this narrative, but as somebody who watched the show and watched Shredder get sick and watched everyone be so upset, I don't understand how you can do this. I genuinely don't. To me, it seems like both Hasan and Ethan are bad dog owners. And if you're super offended that I made fun of both of them, you can cope and seethe. Where did you make fun of Hasan? Where have you made fun of Hasan for being a bad dog owner? Where is Hasan's parody diss track inserted into a completely inappropriate video about a child being raped and murdered? There was one line about shocking Kaya. Okay. Totally the same thing, Ryan. I don't understand why you did this. I don't understand why you did this. I have theories. I have theories. But like I said, Ethan, when he talked about the cheese thing, it's like, have you people never lost someone or lost an animal? Like, this is just so upsetting as someone who's like, oh my God, had people get sick in their lives and had animals get sick and die. It's like you blame yourself first, even if you aren't to blame, because you just want it to make sense, even if the sense it makes is that it's your fault. You don't want to believe that the world is this like completely just like cold, cruel place where nothing makes sense. It's like you don't understand what fucking guilt is. Like, the first person you blame is yourself. It's a huge piece of the grieving process. Today's the anniversary of my dad's death, so that's why I'm like a little more emotional than usual. But don't I always cry? Don't I always cry on stream chat? I just think about how I blame myself for my dad dying. Like, which makes no sense. I was like 21 years old and I was living abroad and I thought my dad was so stressed out because I wasn't home that he didn't kill himself. He just died. He had a heart attack and died. You know, like, that's what you do. Your brain just tries to make sense of it and it doesn't make sense. And so to use that moment of grief is just so, it's so inhumane. It's so cold. And to have it come from a former fan is just, what did you have to do inside to make that feel okay? Right? Like, what deal did you have to make with yourself? To put this out and feel okay about it. Oh, I did not think I was going to cry, but...
Girl with a microphone is in chat.
All right, I'll tell you guys a
just
funny
gave
story.
$2. Cry girl, we got you. We love our Pisces queen.
Okay, here's a funny story. So, yeah, we clap in cheeks. Thank
Emerald
you.
Eyes
All right,
3713 gave $4.99.
My nephew is 3 years old. It's 18 years here.
And she's also gay.
Thank you.
Joe Mama 21 just gave $19.99. Red heart emoji.
Okay, let me tell my story. Oh my God, everyone's donating. Oh, thank you.
Girl with a mic, when is she calling in?
Punani Tsunami just gave $5. Awk 8. Red heart emoji.
Oh,
my dad also
fucking hell.
died. This month will make 13 years. Big hug.
Girl with a mic, when
Dead
is she
Dad's
calling
Club
in?
in chat.
Evan Shapiro just gave $5. I love your content and your take skate. Take my money.
Oh, Annalyn, I'm so sorry. Okay, here's a funny story about my dead dad. So my nephew's 3 years old. He's obviously never met my dad because my dad died like 18 years ago. But there's a bench dedicated to my dad in this park across the street from the house we all grew up in. And I guess my brother must have shown my nephew the bench. And he was like, yeah, this is for my dad. And my dad died and, you know, like they put a bench here or whatever he said, right? So then he goes to his mom. It's a 2-part story. He goes to his mom and he says, did you know about Uncle Mike's dad? He's dead. He died. And my sister's like, yeah, I've heard something about Uncle Mike's dad dying because it's fucking my dad too, right? So that was like months ago. But then recently, my brother was like watching some like Animal Planet video with the kids. and like a cheetah got a gazelle or something like that. And so my niece was like, is the gazelle going to be okay? And my brother was like, no, I think he probably died. And my 3-year-old nephew goes, well, maybe he'll get turned into a bench. And my brother was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, that's what you said happened to your dad. That he's a bench now. So my nephew thinks that my dad is a bench. And I just love that so much. So I hope all of your loved ones become benches someday. Yeah, like this year they're really figuring out like what death is. So that was surprising. Now we clapping cheeks. Oh, Buffy.
Jared Lawrence gave $2. We had to put my Buffy down Monday.
May we all become
18
benches. Maybe he became a bench. Yeah, they need a bench emoji. Okay. So yeah, I'm just like, have these people never lost somebody? Have they never lost an animal? Have they never gone through grief? Like, are they that fortunate? Because otherwise I don't understand how they can justify like taunting somebody, especially when they know for a fact that what they're taunting them with is just a lie.
Girl with a mic, when is she calling in?
Habanero Sriracha just gave $5. Don't let JD
Oh my
around
God.
that bench.
I can't imagine someone blaming me for my dog's death. I know, it's horrible. It's horrible. So we got Ethan's DMs. Let's read those. Let me just check to see if there's anything new, because our king does be popping off when he gets on it, doesn't he? Oh, there's one about iDubbbz. Oh, okay, we'll keep that up. All right. So here's what Ethan is saying to Ryan. Can y'all see that? I feel like it's very small. Okay, so here's the combo from today. Or maybe is it yesterday? No, it's been earlier today. Super funny video. I loved the part where you joked about me killing my dog. First of all, I just know he must have been shitting bricks when he got this message. Like, how could you not? I think it's totally reasonable to poke fun at you for being negligent and not properly researching what you should be feeding your dog. Again, remember, they were with specialists. They were having people come to the house, like insane shit, to try to keep Shredder alive. Which you admitted to yourself, like that's the thing, like he said it himself and then corrected it like days later. Can we stop acting like people don't fucking make mistakes and correct them? Can you imagine saying this to somebody? The fucking arrogance, man. You admitted to yourself in your stream when you said that you wish the vet would have told you that too much cheese is dangerous for the kidneys of small dogs. You and I both know that if Hasan did the exact same thing, you would never shut up about it. I cannot imagine talking to anyone that way. Why does he fucking hate Ethan so much? What is wrong with this person? Like, so antisocial. Ryan Beard, all right, so here's what Ethan says. Ryan Beard thinks it's funny and reasonable to make me relitigate the most heartbreaking and painful loss of my first dog, Shredder. He thinks it belongs in the same video about someone murdering a child and stuffing them in the trunk. Unreal. Unfucking real. So, next one. The only reason, All right, here we go. I hope Snark enjoys your video, bro. Good luck. Girl with the microphone. It was so painful watching the pod while they were going through this. Oh my God. I like cried every episode. It was horrible. Oh man. May we all become benches. Shredder deserves a bench. Does he have a bench? He has like a tree, right? He has like that beautiful waterfall tree. I hope Snark enjoys your video, bro. Good luck. Fuck Snark. I think they're pieces of shit. Smash cut to Ryan defending himself in the Snark subreddit, trying to fucking win their approval. You can't just use Snark guilt by association to dodge all accountability. Accountability for fucking what? Why does Ethan Klein owe you, Ryan Beard, any sort of accountability for the death of his fucking dog? What is this? Just like Destiny shouldn't blame Snark to dodge you bringing him up having CP on his computer. Totally cool and same thing. You are basically accusing me of killing my child as holding me accountable. That's insane. That's it. Bye. I think you were a negligent pet owner. The rage that I would feel, the rage that I would feel if I were Ethan. Oh my God. Part of me is like, more people need to get punched in the fucking face before they get to this point, because this person has been allowed to say just whatever they want and just hurt people whenever they want to this point. I think you were a negligent pet owner. Truly get fucked, Ryan Beard. The only reason all right, so Ethan says, the only reason I felt comfortable DMing him is because he has frequently in our podcast live chat. Ryan Beard, fan, H3 fan, who said in the Snark subreddit, oh, I'm just in there. Oh no, maybe this was Bad Empanada. He had this whole DM back and forth with Bad Empanada that Bad Empanada released, in which he says, oh yeah, I'm a member of H3, but it's really just for research. You fucking little liar. He was frequently in our podcast live chat being pleasant and complimentary and obviously trying to self-promote, which I didn't mind. Yes, he was promoting his videos, trying to get on the show. I complimented his Destiny video and encouraged people to watch it, which I guess wasn't enough for him. Other than these very recent pleasantries, I have never spoken to this man in my life. And this is what he fucking says. I saw what you told Bad Empanada too. Very nice friends you have. Snark and Bad Empanada are loving your content, brother. This was after Bad Empanada leaked his private conversations with Ryan Beard, in which Ryan said miserable things about me, despite claiming to be a fan of the show in our live chats. Yes, these things were apparently happening at the same time. That he was shitting on Ethan to Bad Empanada, and then also begging for visibility in the live chat. Although Ryan said many bad, insanely incorrect, and offensive things about me to Bad Empanada, I let it go because it was part of a private conversation with his very dear friend. I have never spoken ill of Ryan despite all of this. And guess what, Ryan? Your window of amnesty, I fear, is fucking over. I don't know why you people don't learn your lesson. Don't talk about people's fucking children. And don't talk about their pets unless you want serious clapback. And Shredder is basically their child. And you are accusing him of being negligent to the point of murdering his dog.
Girl with a microphone is in chat.
Claire just gave $4.99.
Jesus Christ, bro.
It is such weirdo, gross, antisocial behavior to write, mix, and perform, badly, a song on the bodies of a dead girl and a dead dog for clout and
It's
gain.
so gross. The antisocial piece is just unbelievable. Like, do you not have people and things you care about in your life? Just like, does nothing matter to you? That you don't have any sort of like empathy for somebody and aren't worried about hurting somebody? Oh my fucking God. More guilt by association. I obviously hate Bad Empanada. That was not obvious from what I read. We do not have time for it tonight, but no one has directed more harassment at me than him. He still attacks me regularly, and so does Snark. However, you have decided to appease them by putting forward this fucking stupid, completely like baseless lie that was literally born from Bad Empanada and Snark. To what end, Ryan? Why are you doing this? This isn't you holding someone accountable. You are basing your opinion and your outrage on a fucking lie. You are not in the right here. You are not doing anything from a principled place, and I think you know that. Especially because you are or were a fan of H3. You told Bad Empanada you have been a fan of H3 since high school. There is no way you didn't know how much Ethan and Hila loved Shredder, how hard they tried for, I think it was over a year, to figure out what the hell was going wrong with him. How did you sit through their desperation every day, every single day? It was about what was wrong with Shredder, what his numbers were like, what they were trying, what new doctor they went to, who came to the house, Lena making appointments on the show. How do you watch that and just compartmentalize it and ingest total fucking bullshit and puke it out? How do you do that? Like mentally, morally, ethically, how do you do that? Why would you do that? Anyway, at this point, I think you, Hasan, and Destiny are all egotistical douches that I don't want anything to do with. Well, I suspect you're about to have a lot more to do with Ethan, because I don't think you're going to get out of this without hearing from him, at least on the show. I feel you will be dragged to hell, sir. So here is Ethan's, oh my God, this is so sad. Glad we already cried. Here is Ethan saying what literally every normal, sane, rational person knows. TLDR, he didn't kill his fucking dog with cheese. And anyone who says that, you should immediately discount as a source of any kind of truth. Because the majority of them, especially Anissa, Ian, Ryan, who was a fan, they know they're lying. They know that Ethan and Hila tried everything for Shredder. So here's what Ethan said. So I'll say this once for Ryan Beard and anyone else interested in using this tragic loss as a weapon against me. In a state of grief and vulnerability, I expressed guilt for feeding my dog cheese and lamented if this had anything to do with the kidney disease that ultimately took him. In my grief, I felt an outside sense of guilt, which happens with fucking everybody who loses someone. I guarantee everyone in my family feels like they killed my dad in one way or another. And I'm sure everyone who's lost a pet has felt like, I wish I had done more. We had to put our 19-year-old cat down last October, and we were like, I wish we could have done something more. The cat was fucking 19 with kidney disease. There was nothing we could do. It's the bargaining stage of grief where you're trying to just make sense of it. I felt an outside sense of guilt despite cheese being totally fine for dogs to eat. Importantly, our other dog, Alfredo, shout out Freddie, who has the same age, size, and diet as Shredder. He's a little thicker than Shredder, and I love that. Is perfectly healthy with no kidney issues. Yes, because cheese doesn't make dogs sick. Some dogs might be lactose intolerant, but cheese doesn't make dogs fucking sick. I am so done with this lie. I even did extensive lab work on him after Shredder's diagnosis. So Freddie was also getting advanced, expensive medical treatment to make sure he wasn't also sick. To ensure there weren't any habits that contributed to kidney damage. His kidneys were operating perfectly normal then and now. So we have 2 dogs living in the same house, eating the same fucking diet. Pretty controlled experiment, right? Both of them were tested after Shredder's diagnosis. Both of them have been eating cheese with their meals. One has kidney disease, the other one doesn't. Because kidney disease just fucking happens. It doesn't come from cheddar cheese. And the fact that you guys know this is the most infuriating part. Because all of you feed your fucking dogs cheese. We and the doctors don't know why he developed kidney disease at age 5. The most likely explanation is that it was a tragic genetic inevitability, which is why I encourage everyone to squeeze and love their pets and family because you just never know. These types of insane and cruel accusations have only come from the snark communities with the transparent goal of hurting me. Exactly. It doesn't do anything for Gaza or against Israel. It does nothing positive or productive. It is literally just the thing that they know hurts Ethan the most because they watched him cry about it. It's just so cruel. It's just such a cruel thing to do. It's just such a cruel thing to do to somebody, even if you don't like them. Pushing on something like that is horrible. Ryan is the only person to actually try to legitimize this cruelty by including it in a video essay about the murder of a child and canonize it as a reasonable criticism against me. I mean, we've also heard iDubbbz mention it and others, but yeah, this is the weirdest one yet. R.I.P. to my beloved Shredder, who I loved like my own child. Poor Shreddy. Oh my God. It's just so cruel. It's the cruelty that really makes me upset, you know? All the other shit, all the other lies, it's like, oh God, here they go again. But man, how do you watch Ethan as a fan? Watch him like, I mean, anybody losing their animals, like just watching them be so upset and so like blindsided by it. How do you watch that and then still continue to perpetuate such a hurtful lie? Yeah, we clap in cheeks. Ugh.
Stephen Mix gave $4.99.
Oh.
Ethan legit helped me, a stranger, with my vet bills, a stranger. He never used it for clout, he just helped because he loves animals. F Ryan, dude.
Amen. Fuck Ryan. This is just horrible. Horrible. Horrible, mean, cruel, and nasty. Someone said depraved, and I think that that's a great... God is going to suck everybody.
Feej the Yowl gave $4.99. If it'll cheer you up, I finished the doll bodice and sent the pics of that and her shoes on egg.
Cool. Thank you, Giddy Owl. I'll check that out. I can't wait to see it. I love people who can sew because I just can't at all. It's insane. It's just so depressing. So that's fucking Ryan. I wanted to show something because to me, I remember noticing this pattern after Shredder died. For anybody who questions how Ethan and Hila felt about Shredder, this to me was like a physical representation of how Hila felt. Because we know she's, you know, a designer and she cares about clothes. And I noticed something intentional or something that felt intentional during the months after Shredder died. I've never seen her wear more black. She wore head to toe black or super dark clothes almost every single time she was on the podcast from September through mid-January. Like 4 solid months where she essentially only wore black and dark colors. There were a couple episodes where she had a little more color to it, but you guys got to see this because I noticed it and I was kind of keeping track, and then I felt sad. I was like, oh, Hila. So here, this is the day that Shredder, they announced that Shredder had passed. This is September 8th. She's dyed her hair black now. This is the next time that she was on the show. This is 2 weeks later, all in black again. Dark, dark, dark again in October. This is the next week. At this point, she was only on once a week. She was on H3 After Dark. So this is mostly on Fridays. The 20th. Is this the one? Oh, yeah. The 20th, all in black again. 27th, all in black again. November 3rd, all in black. November 10th, all in black. This is November 24th, mostly in black. December 1st, all in black. December 15th, all in black. She even wore black to the Steamies. All in black, January 8th. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but yeah, but like Bridget said, she always wears so many colors, and Teddy Fresh specifically is so colorful that to only wear black, to me, it's like she was literally in mourning. She was mourning her first kid. She was pregnant going through all that grief. It was also October 7th happened in here too. And then all of the horrible shit that came after that with the genocide and the way people just like went after her. So she's fucking pregnant, mourning her animals, and people are treating her like she is the devil incarnate because they just need someone to blame for everything. It's awful. Okay, and lastly we have Milhouse capitulating to Snark. You might have seen, but apparently Milhouse kind of sideways agreed that the Hasan shock collar gate thing was fucked up and that maybe it was a shock collar or that's what it looked like, and that he kind of wasn't surprised that people thought that there might be something abusive happening there. But of course, since then, he has walked back his opinion. First of all, this is the video, I believe, of him talking about hang on. This is him, you know, kind of having a common sense about the dog thing, about the shock collar thing. So let's watch this. And then after that, I'm going to take a break, take a pee, and we will transition over to Five Nights at Freddy's and have some fun.
onto this random nobody of a streamer just because he liked Ethan at one point in his life. Dude is a bum and has dog shit political analysis. Also, I want to make it, like, I think it's time to divorce myself from the snark sub. Like, if that's what people think, if people are just going to, if this is what people think of me, like, I'm just a bum that...
Meanwhile, they think he's a bum because he said he wasn't following the party line about Hasan, you know, not having a shot collar on Kaya. And this is the response. People are like, oh, I fucking hate him anyway. He's a bum.
Onto this random nobody of a streamer just because he liked Ethan at one point in his life. Dude is a bum and has dog shit political analysis. Also, I want to make it, like, I think it's time to divorce myself from the snark sub. Like, if that's what people think, if people are just going to, if this is what people think of me, like, I'm just a bum that people latched onto because I don't like Ethan, or because I used to like Ethan and now I'm a fallen fan and stuff, then please leave as well. Like, this is...
Buddy, that's all your fans. Like, and that's what's happening to everyone. That's what I don't understand. These people don't get that, like, what you're now experiencing from Snark and how irrational it feels is what you have been enabling toward Ethan and Hila and AB and Olivia and Zach and everybody else that this is happening to. Like, you are not special. You are not special. So that happened. But then he decided to undivorce himself from Snark with this comment in Leftovers H3, which of course we know is the latest iteration of the Snark cesspool. Just see if I can blow this up for y'all. There we go. Hey guys!
Sounds like my Saturday night.
Natalie S6MC gave $6.99. Love your streams. They've filled avoidance. I had to unsub from Brittany Simon, who's gone WVH3 snark narrative. Sad given she does philosophy.
Oh, I don't know her. That sucks. All right, so here's Milhouse. Hey guys, I know you are not happy with the content I put out recently, and that's fine. I think the majority of you and myself have very similar takes on a lot, if not most things. Yeah. So does Ethan with these people. That doesn't matter. You have stepped outside the party line and now you are a bum with terrible political takes. I just wanted to clear up a few things because regardless of what goes on here, we are and will continue to be on the same side. And to start off, I do not think Hasan shocked Kaya in that clip or shocks her ever. Good boy, Milhouse. But I do hope that the clip of Cutie Cinderella confirming that it is a modified shot collar vindicates me a tiny bit. Wait, what? So I don't think he shocked her, but Cutie Cinderella confirms it's a shock collar. How would that vindicate you? 1, my goal was not to harm Hasan or feed the trolls. Criticizing him is not harming him. Jesus Christ. Hasan is not made out of tissue paper. I think perhaps not covering the topic would have been best. Yeah, you're right. You would have gotten a lot less hate if you had just buried your head. Right? If you had just said nothing and just turned the lights off. But part of me was hoping to have a broader conversation, and maybe I failed at that. You failed because they are not engaging in any sort of good faith. It's that simple, bro. Like, you're not going to get a good conversation. Healthy criticism of someone we all like, and in some instances look up to. Oh my God, Hasan is a role model of mine. Woof. You don't understand, Milhouse. Healthy criticism is not allowed. Healthy criticism means you are a Zionist shill. Healthy criticism means that you are a psychotic Israeli psyop. It is impossible to healthily criticize Hasan. He has never, ever done anything wrong. And if you think he has, you hate Palestinians and want all of them to die. I think healthy criticism of anyone, including myself, is necessary, especially in this space. I would agree, except you're not going to convince these people. I also understand your point of feeding into a right-wing narrative meant to destroy Hasan. Remember, look back at Hasan's Social Blade, right? This is not a right-wing narrative. he has lost over 5,500 Twitch subs in a week. I understand that sentiment and fully agree that people pushing this narrative don't give two shits about Kaya and they just want to bring down Hasan. I know that, but my argument will be that that shouldn't stop us from offering good faith, helpful criticism to our favorite creators. Oh, sweetie, you are just really barking up the wrong tree here. These people don't give a flying fart about anything you're saying. They do not think any criticism is helpful to Hasan because they are down the same egotistical, paranoid funnel that he is. That he is flawless, infallible, has never done anything wrong. He is the hero of the left, and anyone who is trying to criticize him in good faith is just another right-wing plant. Oh my God, this is just so much. I genuinely feel Hasan messed up the collar reveal and explanation. Oh, they're going to be mad about that. He was trying to cover the collar and it physically matched the shock version minus the prongs. Okay, so what does that mean, Milhouse? And weirdly enough, my take was literally this. He did not shock her. She clipped her nail, which completely, I mean, did not seem to happen at all. Hasan panicked on the spot when he noticed that the clip had gone viral. He waited, and he knew it would look bad. It would fit into the narrative. He had shocked her. Why did he panic? Why did he panic if there was nothing to panic about? Like, what? These people are just like the logical circles they spin themselves in. He waited one day, showed it on stream, but tried to be a bit vague about it. Why? Why? It was a good enough explanation to some people, but it wasn't enough for many. Again, you'll say, it is so embarrassing that he is putting so much effort into defending himself against people who have no interest in the truth. This is so embarrassing, Milhouse. This to me means I actually don't mean that you should leave. I actually don't mean that I don't want you as fans anymore and you should come back. They are not going to listen to reason, brother. They're just not. You are not going to win back fans this way. I can't even imagine the way they're dragging you in the comments of this. Anyway, Cutie confirmed what I believe, which is that Hasan does not shock Kaya, but she has a modified collar that used to have prongs. Why did you buy the one with prongs if you weren't going to use the prongs? It doesn't make fucking sense. Your dogs share a tiny pizza every 2 weeks? That is so fucking cute. Okay, I wonder if she will be accused of feeding the trolls. I think had Hasan had an honest conversation with the audience, explained how they are, and was vulnerable, he could own the narrative so much more than letting it run loose. I get why he panicked. Why did he panic? If he didn't shock the dog, if the dog isn't wearing something that most people would think is out of line, or even if he does have a shock collar for Kaya and is confident in the way he uses it, why did he panic? Because he's more worried about the perception of him than he is about the fucking truth. But he didn't handle it well, and unless he expected everyone on his side to just ignore this topic, he expected us to either act blind or stupid, which is disappointing. I love that, Milhouse, but you are wasting your breath on these people. You stepped out of line, and now they fucking hate you. And they're about to make up all kinds of lies about you. This is what happens when the groupthink has a personality disorder. You're about to find out. And I don't wish that for you. I don't wish it for anyone. It's horrific. But you're right. Hasan did expect y'all to act blind or stupid, and most of you did. It's not our problem that we fucking noticed it because you were all really bad at it. All I wanted to do was prove these freaks wrong. Why? All you wanted to do should have been know what the truth is. If you're proving freaks wrong first, you have already lost integrity. Hasan did nothing to help himself or anyone wanting to defend him. You criticized Hasan way too much in here. You're in big trouble, mister, with these people. Next time, this is great. Next time I think I will ultimately ignore a story like this. Why? Why will you ignore it? Because it's less trouble. You're choosing the path of least resistance. And that's what they want. So now Snark wins. Now you will keep your mouth shut like a good orbiter and not challenge Hasan at all in the future, even if you disagree with him. Do you see what they've done to you? Yeah, I'm just not going to cover any criticism of Hasan in the future. The fallback has caused me some stress. But let's not interrogate why that is. Let's not interrogate the fucking toxic environment that I am currently defending myself in. I am not asking you to come back to the channel. We should definitely check his social blade. Might cover this on stream one more time just to fully get it off my chest. No one in this group cares. But I hope this post scratches that itch for me and we can have a productive talk in the comments. Girl, please. What is this delusion that Snark is going to have a productive conversation with you, bro? That don't make any sense at all to me. Good Lord. Oh, is this them? Yeah, these streamers don't have as much like subscriber info on Social Blade. So it looks like he's lost like a couple hundred people, but yeah. So what the fuck? Those are that's the tale of our two cowards tonight. I really need to pee. And momentarily, yes, Dennis, we did all the Ryan Beard stuff. I cried a lot. It was great. I'm gonna pee, and then I'm gonna switch us over to the new. Actually, I'll do that first. I'm going to end this stream, switch us over to the Five Nights at Freddy's, and then we will play. But I'm going to take a couple minutes of a bio break, so hopefully you guys will join me in doing that, and then we will all report back here together. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. A thing will pop up in chat. Just click that, and it'll take you over to the other stream. And we're just going to play video games and have a good time. Bye!